Hi guys, it's Aegis here. Here I am with a Ultraman deck profile. So this is the first time I'm actually doing a deck profile, and well, hopefully I can get more time to actually play the game and try out something more, so I can show you a lot more other stuff. Which with the upcoming set 2, I think we should have a lot of different other decks that is more kind of interesting to play. At the moment, the game is still kind of a little bit kind of luck sack, unfortunately, because even though you build kind of like a good deck, but if you can't draw the pieces, where you only have limited time to actually draw those pieces, if you don't draw it, you're just not going to win, unfortunately. Uh, so in here, this build is like something that I've been playing for quite a bit of time, change a few things, play quite a few games to reach at this point. Even that, I'm still kind of having sometimes breaking and like kind of missing the parts to win, but unfortunately, this is what the game nature is. So yeah, it is what it is. And now, the deck itself is a mixture of Mebius and Tiga. So this, uh, if you did follow like the trends, especially like the JP trends, that it has kind of become a tier 1 deck, but I was playing this theme while people was playing like Mebius Blazer, Tiga Blazer, and other things right at the start. When no people are looking at like Mebius Tiga, very few people, I was playing that already, so uh, I like one day suddenly becomes so good to everyone, and everyone going to take that deck. I even played at the Galaxy Cup one day where at least 60 to 70% of the players are using the Tiga Mebius build, so I guess it is just that stable, or people just starting to recognize how good the deck is. Yeah, but later we will get more support uh, for Mebius and like other Ultraman to support him, so I will probably switch to that one. But I think before that comes, I would like to show you my build. So just to start up the like discussions, sharing, and keep the deck profile going, hopefully. Now let's immediately go through the deck profile. For the level ones, I'm running 4 of the Searcher Mebius, uh, 4 of the Mebius level 1 that can power up if your opponent is having a speed type, and then just a normal vanilla Mebius. The reason we need more than 8 is that we actually need to build up the stack, not only when you normally play it to build a stack, when you use the scene card, you also would like to make a triple stack of Mebius, so the more options you have for yourself is better. And then going for the level 2s, I'm first using the drop to grab a scene or Mebius card searcher Mebius, and then 4 of the power up Mebius against the power type, and then 2 vanilla Mebius. At first, I was using only these 2, and then I always kind of stuck, couldn't find any level 2s to play. So that's why I'm actually adding the vanilla ones, and it actually helps because the vanilla ones, the base power is actually strong. So when you are facing like one-on-one, when both are level 2s, without too much of like power up, power down effects, you can almost win a lot of things, right? So it's definitely a good options to take, and its base power is 7k, so it's still kind of good even if you play it as single and then go into level 3s, because for example our triple rare Mebius level 3 is able to use the skill starting from double to triple, so even when you're on 2 to 3, you can still go for the effects, which is very important, and this is like I learned for a hard time to just get it right, because if you only focus on building the Mebius to level 3, your speed might not be enough to win your games. That's one thing. And like when you don't see the level 1s, then you will get stuck, because you will always like, okay, I should wait for the level 1 to build a triple stack, right? But now the focus is more focused on the level 2s to level 3s at least, then you can still do something. And then I'm running 2 of the vanilla Mebius, because his base attack is also 17k, so unless you're facing like Tiga or maybe later for 0, you probably won't be losing the match if you're going triple while your opponent is also going to triple. And then we have 2 more on plays Mebius, which only have it on place on your triple, where you draw 3 cards, select one of your Ultra Hero, and then plus 2k. Now this is how you beat a Tiga in 1 turn, because Tiga is 18 and this has plus 2k on an Ultra Hero, so your Mebius 70k can become 19k and beat Tiga. But you need to be very careful on the moment that you are using this card, because it's only a on place and only for that turn. So for example, if you are winning against Tiga for 1 turn, the next turn you will lose unless you have another one on place, right? So he is more likely for you to want, like when you want to flip the table around for at least 1 turn, or when you are going for your winning turn, you just go in, add the power, and win free, and then get your wins. That's probably how the better way for it to do. And even he himself, plus 2k on himself, is still a draw against a Tiga, so like you're telling your opponent, okay, I am that big, you are as big as me, are you going to switch your position? Or you have to stay there in order to draw me, for me not getting a win, because other things you switch, unless it's another Tiga, which is no point of you switching it at the start, you will lose. So yeah, that's why it's still a very good card to include, and I put more than 1, because I will have moments that I actually need to use it more than once. And then going with our Tiga package, first we have the Searchers, and then we have one of the power up Tiga against the power type. The reason I have more than 4 is just slightly increase the chances that I actually get to build up a triple. But Mebius is my main focus, not Tiga, so that is why I'm not putting that much focus on there. And then 4 of the Look 5 search for scene card searcher Tiga, because we want to increase the drop, and this is one of the best cards that can help you to actually make that drop. So there it is, but his power is kind of low, even as a double, so you might have chances to actually lose when you go double with this card. Yeah. And then I'm using 2 of the power type, the same reason as the Mebius for the base power against one-on-one to get the win. Some people actually using the one that can get to triple. The vanilla, I think it's the vanilla one from the starter, or like that has like slightly power up kind of thing. But I prefer to use some base power to fight, because even if I'm like facing a similar deck, I can have a chance to actually win just by pure power. So that's why I'm going for that. And my Mebius can only power up Mebius anyway, so it's not like that I can push my level 2 Tiga into level 3 just by having some skills. And then the switching Tiga 4 off is a must. He is basically in set 1 meta the strongest card in base power, that you can have, because when we are playing this game, it's not only about using effects to win, but it's also the matters that after the match, can you keep the winning status. For example, this, he can pump himself to 18k, but the next turn is 16 back. So any 17 can just beat him. But Tiga, because he's the strongest, he's 18, he can switch to any place where you can, like, at the very first starting to build up your Tiga, and then suddenly go to triple, switch to the current battlefield to win the game, win the match, get the turn player switch, so you can play your scene cards, etc, etc, or just go to anywhere where after switch you can win 2 places, and then plus 1 win you will get the win. That is how strong this card is, at least for now. Once we get into set 2, things may change when we see more units, or like Ultramans with base power or triple power that is same as the Tiga. Then he will not be that kind of dominant anymore. But it is Tiga. We all know that he is probably the new generation most famous one, at least to the like kind of older generation, before we get out of the Showa Ultraman, then probably someone else. But once we leave the Showa era, get into the new era, Tiga is definitely one of the most famous one, and he deserves to be that strong, I guess. And then I'm putting 2 of the starter ones, just giving myself some options, because I tried to only run 4 of these and just not feeling right. Even though he's strong, his base power is not great, but then his double to triple power is strong enough, and his triple ability is definitely amazing. But we still kind of want to have something that can at least fight as a double, where he himself, I rarely use his skill, so it's okay for me to go from a level 2 to level 3 as a double compared with this, because this I always want to at least make it to goes off, then I can choose that I want to do it. But this is okay, right? And even when you build up a 17 stack, if your opponent is still 17 stack, you can still like digit card to power them down, force them to do something to power them up in order to tie up with you, right? So it's very good card still. Of course, not as good as this one, but it's a good backup for you to put in to build up your stack. But most of the time you're relying on Mebius to build up a good stack with Mebius, then you can still pick up a good fight. And then 2 of the Gomora. So this is the box topper where you can get from set 1, and it is actually a very good card where on plays it can just become a 12k, so it can win most of the time unless it's a double of a level 3. If your opponent is like going to level 2 max, then you can probably just win most match. So what he's good at is, if you are going second and you actually want to go first early game, play him down while your opponent is still starting to prepare the stack. You can win from there, right? And even if they go to the level 2s, quite a lot of level 2s are actually 9k with effects, so you can still get to a draw after the turn he's on plane, because he will be back to 9k. Or like when you are fighting very exciting in front where we don't have much resources, that we can only set 1 and we can't level up, then you suddenly set a Gomora right there. A 12k can basically beat everything that is a single. Even like these ones, this is 9k, this is 7k, so even when you're against these ones as a single, You will win for the first time that both on plays. You will get to draw with this. You will get to win the Tiga as a single. So he has his point to shine, but you need to be very careful the moment you use it. If you use it like kind of middle while both have quite a lot of resources, your opponent can still build up their stack to just win you naturally, and you have no ways to recover from that because we don't have anything like a EX Gomora for you to put on top or something. At least for now, we don't have anything. So it's still a very good card. But if you want to cut the Gomora, you can actually put in a Saturn if you actually have that card. I do have one. I don't have like two. I do want another one. Hopefully I can find one later, but we'll see. If you are seeing more and more meta with a single Ultraman where Zero is definitely coming up very very soon. Cheat, we don't know. So far it's kind of meh. Is a very interesting deck, but at the same time the power is kind of weak, so we don't actually see Saturn to actually get played as much as we expected. And Gomora is definitely something that you can pick as a choice. And lastly, the scene card from Mebius. Unfortunately, I don't have the Galaxy Cup version yet. I might need to try to find 4 of them later, which I will hopefully see if I can get them. But this is a very strong card and one of the cards that making Mebius have a potential to actually go to the top, because once you set this down, you have a chance to suddenly build up a very strong Ultraman and win the game. Right, like you are going for a double Mebius and then just use this effect on something, and then you suddenly turn it into a triple to make it stronger. Then you can win at least 2 sides. Maybe you win already on another side, then that's how you win, right? So so far this is definitely a good card. Compared to Blazer One is good, but it's a lot of RNG and actually wasting you a lot of cards, where you might win a few with it, and then suddenly when your Ultraman get back to the original lower level and you can't find anything to level up again, then it will be where you lose, right? But with this, what you build up will just stays, so that's why it is just a strong card to use. Yeah, so this is the deck where I did promise to make, and this is the one that I actually played the most, tried quite a lot of things to actually get to this point to where I think I'm more comfortable with the deck build. Unfortunately, I couldn't still win a lot of games with this. The main reason is just the bad draws, unfortunately, where I tried to avoid as much as possible, and it actually improved that, but it still happens because again we only have limited cards to draw from a very big deck, and we just need to rely on that. For example, when I see a level 1 Mebius, I see a level 3 Mebius, I never see a level 2, even though when I increase the amount of level 2s, it still doesn't come. Nothing I can do. Like if I have a 1 to 2 and I don't have the 3s, it happens, right? So if you do get a good hand, you probably can win. If you really don't get the pieces to come, it's still very hard. I don't know how the game will evolve and such, and hopefully like Digimon, where we can just see the game mechanics will just getting better and better, because for example in old Digimon, if you can't Digivolve, you lose, right? Because in order to play a higher level card, you need to give your opponents a lot of resources, and that will directly give you a loss. And if you don't put the stuff down, you have nothing to do, so you will lose still. So at that point of early game of Digimon card game, it is that bad. But so far Ultraman card game isn't as bad as that one, because you get to play your high level cards, just don't need to give your opponents extra resources, but then your Ultraman is like super weak. But at least you can pick up a fight, right? You still have a chance to win from there. So hopefully we can actually see more improvement in the game. Then I think it will be a good card game to actually stays for hopefully a few years. Because I do want to see a lot of different Ultramans to come. I definitely want to see Ultraman Cosmos. Ultraman Algo is coming out very soon, so I am very excited for that. We still need to see things like Belial and the Kaijus getting some more respect. Hopefully it will come. So yeah, I think that's it for this deck profile. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully I can get to do more different deck profiles after set 2 maybe, because for now I don't quite have like a inspiration on a lot of decks. I'm still looking for different options with Mebius, which I will find time to try, but there isn't a lot of people actually playing in Hong Kong for now, unfortunately. But we'll see. I will at least keep the content going from time to time, so it's not like a one-off thing. So don't worry about that. I will be putting more content whenever I can. Yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.